fish on a threaded worm. Right. In a slow morning, I put on the threaded worm, and 10 minutes later, fish on. There, he was at 20 feet. I was running a naked threaded worm with a silver horde gold star rudder. Cut down on the line twist. We'd marked some pretty nice fish through this stretch here, and be darned if that didn't do the trick. When the going gets tough, oh, he's still there. Break out the worms, right? 1.5 miles an hour, kind of a classic presentation. On the lead core, of course. Woo, coming to life now. All right. Nice fish. Oh yeah, nice fish. Woohoo! Here we go, nice Collins Lake rainbow. Couldn't lay off that threaded worm. There's the worm, and of course I was running one of those slow death hooks. So get this guy on the stringer, and uh-oh, tangled up again. Anyway, we'll get this guy on the stringer and see if we can get another one. But Dandy trout, nice way to start the day. Totally awesome. Very cool. Lead core does it again. Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. It is time for another Northern California trout fishing report. This week we got some bright spots and we got some mediocre spots. And it's mostly all due to the weather. Let's start off here. I'm out at Collins Lake. This lake is full of fish. I'm marking fish all the time, but they are not easy to catch. Now, some guys have caught some really large trout out here. I'm out here today with Wes Ward. So far, Wes got one about 3 pounds. I got one maybe 2 pounds. Wes had a smaller fish. We lost a couple and we had a couple short strikes. So nothing to write home about, and they were not responding to our fast presentations. They weren't responding to large lures. We had to slow down. We had to break out the Trigger Spoon Juniors. We had to break out the threaded night crawlers and the threaded gulp worms, and we had to get down below the surface. Even though we had a good level of surface activity out here early in the day, once again, it's kind of becoming a pattern here in the last week or so, 2 weeks. The fish up top are not responsive, and to get hit we had to drop down into that 18 to 30 foot range. That's where the active fish or the actively feeding fish were, and that's where we got all of our action today so far. We got a few more hours left here, so that's kind of the story here at Collins. I have not seen another fish caught out here. I've been watching the bank anglers. I'm coming up on a swim beach now. Wes actually went in for lunch, but I have not seen another fish caught out here today. Moving on, Amador, much the same. A lot of guys are getting skunked at Amador, but there are some monster fish being caught as well. So, you know, you kind of got to roll the dice. You got to get out there, get after them, see what happens, and you might be the guy that, you know, gets a big fish. I will say, if you hit any of these lakes and the standard stuff isn't working, get down in the water column, slow down, downsize your offerings, get out that natural bait. That's your best shot if the fish are, you know, playing hard to get. Comanche, again, I sound like a broken record. Hit and miss. Some guys are getting limits, some guys are getting skunked. There are some very nice fish in the mix though. Pardee, probably the best foothills bite right now. Combination of rainbows, kokanee, they're on the bite. If you control, you can go out to party and catch a limit. You can also get a limit of rainbows off the bank. The lake has been heavily planted. They are biting. Party is very much worth the effort. The iconic destinations. Davis, it's ice-free. The weather has been very dicey up there. We've had some snow. We've had some great weather. We've had some big wind, and it's still getting down into the low 20s overnight, so ice is always an issue on the launch ramps. Elmonor, same thing. Some very large fish in the mix, wind at times, and fickle fish at times, you know, fish that they just don't want to go. Shasta is getting more consistent for trout, particularly for the guys fishing in McCloud Arm. Brown trout fishing, very inconsistent. There's browns up to 9 pounds available, but they are not a pushover. But you can go out, you can get anywhere from 4 to probably 8 rainbows, you know, a morning, pulling shad pattern stuff in the top 30 feet of the water column. Bay Area lakes, they're fishing pretty well. Chabot, Los Vaqueros, San Pablo, they're all booting out fish. Bank fishing is the way to go. Soak that dough bait, you know, soak the mice tails, might even try an inflated worm. That is working, but absolutely go with the slow presentation, go with the natural bait. That's going to put fish on the stringer at the Bay Area lakes. That's about all I have at this time. You know, the days are unseasonably warm, but the days are still fairly short, and the water temperatures, while above what we would normally see, they're still fairly low. So I think the fishing's going to bust loose here at any time. We got some unstable weather coming in the end of this week and into next week, but right now this weather pattern has kind of got the fish on their heels. They're not behaving as they ordinarily would, or maybe they were. I mean, we're just barely into the month of March here. So anyway, I don't know of a wide open bite at this point. Definitely though, get out on the water. There's some great fish being caught. If you catch it on the right day, the weather's, you know, fabulous. I'm actually overly warm here today. It's got to be pushing up to, you know, 68, 70 degrees. And I'm having a great time. So if you go out to a lake, you're probably going to have to work for your fish. There are some very large fish in the mix, and you know you can't catch them from the couch. I'm Kel Kellogg. I'm out of here. I'm hoping for a couple more hookups today. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell. You'll get a notification anytime I'm on here talking about trout or any other kind of fish or gear or whatever I'm talking about. And if you're looking for high quality trout gear, good gear at a very fair price, stuff that you see me using on the water, like my iconic yellow lead core rods have been working great today, click on over to the Fish Hunt Shoot Productions website and check out my store. I'm Kel Kellogg. I'm signing off. I'll catch you later right here on YouTube, guys. Thanks for all the support.